What up, y'all? Back with another quick story, Tales from the Trap. And today's story is going to be about the first time I ever got locked up. I'm 16. Growing up, me and my mom, we ain't had the best mother and son relationship. I take accountability for a lot of the stuff me and my mama went through. I was bad, mannish, man. You couldn't tell me nothing. By the time I got a little older, 16, making my own, little money and stuff like that. You really couldn't tell me nothing. So I was bad. I was disrespectful, mannish. So, you know, that made me and my mom relationship like weird. Just, you know, and then my mom was young too. See, my mom's only 13 years older than me. I know that sound crazy, but my mama had me when she was 13. So I grew up with her more like looking at her like more of a big sister, and my grandma was my mom because my mama was young, bro. I just didn't trust. I didn't trust too much of what she said or her judgments because I watched her make some crazy decisions. But all right, so it's August. School just had started back, but my birthday, was that day. The day that I turned 16 years old, my birthday was that day. So I ain't go to school. Um, I used to hang out in these apartments called Willow Ridge back in the day. So, that's where I'm at, chilling. Um, a friend of my mom's stayed up there, so she had called my mom and told her that I wasn't in school, blah, blah, blah. So I'm at the house then, I'm just bouncing around. It's my birthday. I'm walking around. Anybody that didn't go to school that day, we smoking weed, chilling, walking around, making my little weed plays and stuff. So I'm at the house. My mama pull up. She like, nah, nigga, you ain't gonna go to school. You can't be in here all day while I'm at work. You got to find something else to do. So my mama used to do shit like cut the power off to the house, and we had a little storage unit in the back of our house where that was the main breaker for the house and stuff. So she'd go out there and turn all the power off to the house on some stupid shit because you turn all the power off. That means the refrigerator, everything in the refrigerator, you know what I'm saying? Like, but that's what she used to do. So she turns the power off to the house and lock the door so I couldn't get in. But I knew how to take a knife and I could pop the side door open and, get in there and do that. So dang on, when she leave, I goes pop the door and cut the power back on. I'm in the house. I'm chilling. See, I knew when my mama got off work, so it wasn't no big thing. An hour or so before I knew she was coming home, clean up my little mess that I would make in the house and go to the park, sit at the park or whatever. So that's what I do. Hour before she get ready to come home, I clean up, go back outside, cut the power off, go to the park. So now she home. Now I know she home. I'm getting ready to come back home. She's standing on the front porch as I'm coming, down, walking down the street and stuff. I don't know if she was talking to my aunt or my grandma at the time. But she like, yeah, this motherfucker gonna stop disrespecting me in my house and he got to go and I'm about to do this and do this and do this. And I'm hearing this as I'm walking up. Like I said, I was bad, disrespectful, mannish as hell back in the day. So I walk up like, what you talking about? She Chris, I'm tired of this. I can't live like this. I'm not comfortable in my own home and rah 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 rah. I'm like, what did I do? She was like, you ain't going to school and you thinking you gonna stay in here and while I go to work and pay the bills. Mind you, bro, I'm giving my mama $250 a month just for my little room and board. Plus giving her weed, all of that little stuff, She ain't pay for weed. My mama ain't pay for weed for a long time, not unless she wanted to pay for weed. So she running her damn mouth. I'm talking shit back. That was just our relationship, bro. It was literally like that was my sister, where you get into an argument with your sister and y'all go back and forth. That was our relationship. So My mama had this thing where she'll start crying real bad, like somebody really done did something to her. So my sister comes outside, my little sister comes outside, and she tell my sister to call the police. And I'm like, Beetlejuice, don't call the police. But she gonna listen to my mama, so she called the police. Police officer get there and stuff. Soon as the police officer walk up to her, oh my God, I can't stand this. I can't take it. He's disrespectful, and I want him out of my house. I'm laughing. I'm high as hell. It's my birthday. I'm laughing. Police officer walk up to me like, think this is funny, son? And I was like, man, she lying. She was like, show your mama some respect. And he like grabbed my shoulder, like, show your mama some respect. And I pushed his hand off. Man, this motherfucking police officer picked me up and slammed my ass on the ground, knocked all the wind out of my big ass. I'm on. I jumps up. Police officer pushed me back down, like, get on the ground, stay down. Now my mama crying extra hard. I don't know if she, upset about what the police is doing to me or just putting on the show. So the police officers asking my mama, what was going on and stuff. But this woman done made up a whole lie and told them that I was waving a knife and I was threatened to kill her, well, unalive her and my sister, my little sister. Lies, 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 lies. Now I was thrown off, but I wasn't that thrown off, like, to where I'm getting ready to take a knife and threaten my mama and my sister. My sister ain't got nothing to do with nothing. So, hold up. Excuse me. So, the police officer asked my sister, which, you're not supposed to question kids under the age of, I think, like 10 or 12. So the police asked my sister, did she see me with a knife in my hand? Mind you, bro, I'm walking up to the house. I ain't got no knife in my hand. But my mama knew that that's how I get in the shed. Cause while she's out there just running her mouth, I go and I show her the knife. Like, bro, I just use this to pop the door open so I can cut the power on. So she tells the police officer where I keep the knife on the side of the house and stuff. Police officer go get the knife. He asked my sister, did she see me with a knife in my hand? My sister looked dead at my mama. And she looked at the police officer and was like, yeah. And I'm sitting there like, oh my God, bro. Police officer like, put your hands behind your back. And I'm like, for what? He was like, you going to jail for communicating threats. So I'm just sitting there like, I'm looking at my little sister and I'm like, that's fucked up, yo. Why are you gonna sit there and tell them that? She started crying and, she young and she's really following my mama lead. Cause me and my sister done talked about this plenty of times after, it happened. We both grown now. She's 28, I'm 37 years old. So, we done both talked about this. It is what it is. Like, she like, bruh, yeah, I was young and you know how mama is and I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. But, it is what it is. So, police officers take me downtown. The charges was communicating threats with a deadly weapon because he took the knife as evidence. Man, so I ain't never been to the big boy jail. I done been to juvenile and stuff like that, but I never been to Sycamore Street. Back then, our jail was on Sycamore. Our county jail sat on this street called Sycamore downtown Greensboro. Gladiator school, too. So, he booking me and all of that, and he asking me, the police officer, like, are you affiliated with any gangs? And I'm like, nah. And like, I'm going to ask you this again because if we house you somewhere where you got enemies in the streets or you the opposite gang, we have no control over what goes on once you get into your pod. So I'm like, yeah. He like, what you affiliated with? I'm like, Crips. So he writing all of this down. You go through the whole booking process and all of that, blah, blah, blah. So now it's time for me to get up on my floor. They take me up to my floor, stick me in a pod. I think it was like B2, B3, one of them. Um, Back then, you go to the county jail because in the state of North Carolina, by when you turn 16 years old, your ass can um, go to actual jail. But see, they can't house you with anybody over, I want to say anybody over the age of 25, and you had to have your own cell. They call you juvies in there. They still call you juvies. So I get to my cell, I get to the pod, police officer make one of the older niggas move out of the room because it was, from the ages of 16 up to 25 in the pod. He made one of the older niggas move out the room and stuff. He mad as hell. This the first time I ever met a nigga from the neighborhood Crip set. He 40s, rolling 40s. So he he in the day room talking shit, sitting on the table. Nigga make me move out my room. This nigga locked up just like us. Yeah, you old enough to get locked up. You old enough to program like everybody else. So he in there talking shit. But ask me, he come ask me where I'm from, who I am, and all of that. Tell him, So our sets is natural enemies. Trades and neighborhoods is enemies back in the day. The gangster car didn't fuck with the neighborhoods. The neighborhoods didn't fuck with the gangster car. So, um, you know, he kept calling me an ashtray. And anybody that's gang affiliate knows that any tray set, even the blood tray sets, you call you cannot say ashtray. That's a word of disrespect. So me and Buddy, we going back at it. I look young. I'm real short, bro. To this day, I'm only 5'5". So imagine me at 16 years old. I'm like 5 feet even, 5'1". I don't got no facial hair. Well, I got a little scruff down here, and I had a little mustache, but I ain't got no facial hair. So I don't even look 16. I'm looking 13, 14 years old, but I'm 16. So me and him going back and forth, talking shit, blah 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 blah. So uh, it's a Friday too. My birthday was on a Friday. It's a Friday. They got this thing called Friday Night Fights, Gladiator School, where everybody, they write down your name and put it in, put it in a little bowl and shake it up, pull it out. But this night, Buddy done called me out. Like, yo, I want to fight the ashtray. I want to fight the ashtray. So, the older niggas, the oldest niggas in there, they set it up where you go in the 4-man. Anybody that you got problems with on Fridays, or if your name is pulled, you got to fight. Mandatory. If you don't fight, you getting on the door. No questions asked. So they set it up to where me and Buddy going, the 4-man to fight. We hitting. It was a quick little scuffle. It wasn't like he beat my ass, I beat his ass. It was just get your rocks off real quick. Boom, on to the next people. So the older niggas break it up. They like, oh yeah, y'all did y'all thing. Y'all did y'all thing, buddy. You held it down, my boy. You held it down. They talking to me because I'm little. I'm little as hell. Like, well, you held it down. So after everybody done did their little fighting and stuff like that, this the first time I ever seen the cook-ups where they end up making the swoles and the oops, the steak cakes, whatever you want to call them. So I'm in there. I'm watching people crush up chips and flatten out honey buns and all type of little stuff. And I'm wondering what the hell everybody doing. So one of the older niggas asking me how was I, where I was, where I'm from, what I'm doing in there, and I'm telling him and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, it's my birthday. He like, nigga, it's your birthday? They locked you up on your birthday? And I'm like, yeah, me and my mom got into it, and she lied, talking about I threatened her and shit. He like, that's fucked up. So he telling the other dudes like, bro, he was like, it's a little bro birthday, bro. We got to make him a steak cake. We got to make him a steak cake. So they all started, putting their little stuff together to make me what was called uwap. Man, one of the best things that I had. Like, I'm young, never had nothing like that before, and to see somebody make a cake out of a honey bun, Snicker bar, Reese's, um, some cookies, and I think it was a Texas bun, one of them cinnamon buns, one of them Texas buns. To see somebody make a damn cake and it actually looked like a cake was amazing. And then they doing the little swole and um what they call them shits, um pockets. So they make a big little shindig on the table in the day room and stuff. They pretty much throw me a birthday party in that motherfucker. So now we having fun. We'll get like little small styrofoam cups and stuff, and they got what they call whips in there, which is a radio. So they'll take the headphones and punch a hole in the bottom of the styrofoam cup to make the little speaker louder. So everybody got their radio on in the day room, but it's like a little party, bro. We in there just having fun now after everybody done had their little Friday night fight and stuff. Now we parlaying with each other. Even the nigga that I had hit with, we natural enemies, but it's my birthday, so the whole atmosphere changed in there. Now everybody got a reason to like party, where they call it, going to the club. So bro, I'm in there, I'm chilling, I'm having fun, like low key, bro. I know it sounds crazy, but I'm having fun, bro. It's my birthday, just turned 16 years old, and I'm in jail. And it's I don't have my first jail fight. I don't have my first jail food. Like, I'm already out there in the streets. So, now I'm just like, bro, shit, it is what it is. I'm having fun. So the next day roll around, you wake up and that's when reality hits you. Like, damn, bro, I really woke up in jail. Like, now, it's the day after my birthday and stuff. Now I'd rather be in school. Like, damn, man, shit, I wish I was at school or something. It's Saturday. Back then, you could bind out any day of the week. Now I heard you can't bind out on the weekends. So, CO comes, knock on my door, Lee. I'm like, yeah, he like, pack it up. You getting released today. So everybody like, damn, I knew you was getting out, little bro. You good, man. That's a little petty charge, yada, 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 man. Should hold it down out there. Long story short, my mama ended up coming to get me. They let her sign me out. Um, I ain't even go to court. I don't even remember going to court or any of that. Like when you go to your little court hearing, because I got locked up on a Friday. Now you can't see the judge on that little screen until a Monday, but they ended up letting my mama sign me out to her and stuff like that. So, I goes home and stuff, and bro, my mom just act like none of that shit ever fucking happened. Like, on the way home and stuff, I'm talking to her like, man, that was messed up. You ain't have to do that and all of that, blah blah blah. And she just swept it under the rug, like, bro, like it just didn't happen. Still to this day, like, if I was to bring it up to her, or it'd come up in a conversation with me and my sister or something like that, my mama just gonna completely ignore it, because I caught my first charge, like, as being 16 years old. I caught my first damn charge from my mama. But she did end up going to court with me, and they had dang on dropped the charges, because then that's when my mama had ended up emancipating me, where she signed her rights over to me, saying that I was my own adult, and I had my own rights, blah blah blah. But yeah, man, that was my first time going to jail, man. It was actually, it's weird enough to say, it was actually uh fun. It wasn't no bad experience. I didn't get beat on, jumped, or nothing crazy happened to me in jail while I was there. That first time, and it was literally only a 24-hour stay. Probably less than 24 hours. Probably like 20 hours, 18 to 20 hours. Next day my mama comes sign me out. I get out, yada yada. Like, but There's more stories to come. Just thought that I'd share that little quick story because all the backstories make most of the main stories make a lot of sense to why, I chose to run out to the streets and how certain situations came about because, for every incident, it leads up to something happening to make the situation be a situation. But if y'all want to keep hearing more stories, man, subscribe to my channel, give me a like, and shoot me a comment. And I'm gonna keep dropping these stories.